54. Check.
First carry for Nick Chubb. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. It's caught by OBJ. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup.
Keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
First down, Cleveland.
Set, 20. 54. 54. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Running the jet sweep, Landry, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Steelers' 28-yard line.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. And we're pretty quiet, team, we're pretty quiet.
A run for Nick Chubb, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Recon, 132 fighter. Check. Quarter.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Mayfield under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Switch up.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Dumping it off for Johnson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down.
54 miles.
They give the Chubb out of the gun, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
180. Point it right. X3. 218. Chop. I got you.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Devin Bush, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield looks to throw, and that is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Good. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, Snickers. Snickers. Check 24. Check 24. Switch. Hey, alert. Black is third.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Fielded at the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for enough. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Devin Bush in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Set. 180. 54 Mike. King. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
Mayfield down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him, but right now he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 48 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
No go! Check safety. General West.
On 2nd and 2, Roethlisberger flush to his right. And the Steelers are in for the touchdown. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Get your swerve on. He's coming. We got double up. Hey, alert, 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 alert!
Mayfield off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You got tight right there. Show that bench release and go. Hey, orbit. Flash it through.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Black 20. 56, right there. 56. King. Come on, D. Back. Switch. Watch twist. Let's go. Check three. Black.
They'll run with Cook. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Dalvin Cook. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
I'm coming after you. Kill, kill, kill.
They run it again with Chubb, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, 133. I'm coming after you.
Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger will throw, eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 5 now. Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Landry the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, 133. Hey, 133.
Here's Mayfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
They run, Chubb, and he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And again, it's Chubb. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Shift. Pistol.
Throwing, Mayfield to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
This one fielded at the 5. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Rashawn Gary able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Crunch. 50. 59. Middle. Right here. 59 Mike. Check. 59. Hey, watch the slant. Double bump.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. The Steelers send out their punter now. Standing just outside his own goal line. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And taken right at the 35. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. First down, Mayfield. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Check it back.
A toss play to Chubb. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Switch it.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. A fourth and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down one score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Easy. Check 59.
Again, it's Cook. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 38, Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 46 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll go with Snell here on 1st down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Here's Snell yet again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the ground, it's Chubb. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
At the Browns' 11-yard line.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Kill. Turn up.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Cook. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker, as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Devin Bush in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Steelers, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.